Hello everyone again. So today I'm doing a lesson on Brusho. So Brusho looks like this. So it's pigmented crystal colours and they come in little pots like this. They got a hole in the top which put a drawing pin in just to keep them so that they don't spill out, and tried to put a colour coordinate pin on the top so you can see this is violet. So we managed to find a violet pin to put on the top there so you can see. And it's pigmented like crystals on powders, and they're really bright, and you can use them in different ways, but you can use them like watercolours. So you add water to them and you can use them like watercolour paints, but they're just very pigmented and they're strong and yeah. So when they come in the box, they all come looking exactly the same. They've got the numbers, not the numbers, the names on them, so you can see all the colours, but the powders don't come out the same colour as what they come out when you make them up. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make a colour chart, which is what I have done here to show you. Okay, so the way I did it was I gridded out to make a chart, and then all the boxes, and then I wrote the names of each one in first, and then I tipped the powder and sprinkled it on all of the top boxes. Then I added water to them. So it was just a system that worked for me, so I knew what I was doing. But they come out completely different to what colour they actually are. So if I show you underneath, I've got this piece of paper here. So let me show you the leaf green. So this is a leaf green one. So we take the top out and we just put it on. That's all you need, the tiniest amount. So don't think you need to sprinkle it and shake it like talcum powder, because you don't. You need literally the tiny amount. So once you add water to it, this is leaf green, but it's come out orange. Don't know if you can see it. See, there you go. You probably be able to see this better now. Okay, look. So it's got like little crystals, little granules in it. So once the water hits the granules, it's like paint, and the pigment is inside them granules, which is really cool. The colours are really bright as well. So this is the turquoise. Let's try the turquoise. Well, that's the tiniest amount of sprinkles. You can't even see them. They're that tiny. It's just dust. Watch this. Wow, look at that. How incredible is that? Look how much paint you can get just from that. Travels a really long way. This is just paper, so this should be watercolour paper, but it's not, so it's gone wrinkly. Look at that. How amazing is that? So let's try ultramarine blue. So, oh no, that's cobalt blue. Look, it's ultramarine. Here it is. Alright, let's try this one. Wow, look at that. It's like a purpley blue. So that's quite amazing, really. That's amazing to see the results that you get. So, let's try. I'm going to try the brilliant red, because on my colour chart it came out really bright. So let's just try that and see what that comes out like. Oh wow, look at that. I'm amazed by these. These are incredible. They're so pigmented. There's so much colour in such a small speck of dust. It's quite amazing. Look, there's a little speck there, and it's got a lot of paint in it. I wouldn't want to waste any of these. I'd be wanting to keep all of them. There's a little tiny speck there. It's tiny. Let's see. Oh, it's not doing anything, that one. Let's try these. Oh wow, that's cool. So yeah, so that's what Brusho does, and this is my first time at using it, so it's going to be a learning curve for me because I haven't used these before. So I'm going to try some different tips and techniques that we can use, and I know it's very similar to watercolour, so we can use wet and we can use dry. So I'm going to keep my colour chart at hand. So that's it. I'm going to keep my colour chart so I can see it, because these pots of Brusho are all white. Even though you might want a colour, you don't know what the colour is, and you need to see it on the paper that you're using. This is just card, so it's going to give a different texture and a different colour because it's got a different background to it. But if you do a colour chart on watercolour paper or on your little library cards, use it, and then you'll know what colours you want to put together. And because we're doing a peacock, cobalt blue, turquoise blue, Parisian blue, they all look like the kind of blues we'd need for a peacock. So this is my peacock picture, which I used a reference photo, which was this one. Okay, so I've used this, and it's a lot of blues and greens. So I think I'm going to start by mixing some up and using it like watercolour and see how that goes. So I've got a palette here. So I think I'm going to use, let's try the bright blues. I'm going to use, I think, the cobalt blue, which looks really good. So let's find which one that is. That is, oh, they're all falling over now. This one. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some to the palette. So let's do it in the first box. Right, there's not that much in there. Right, look. So it's a tiny, tiny amount of dust. But let's see what it looks like when we add some water to it. Oh wow, look at that. Oh wow. Oh, this is just so exciting. So I'm going to do this onto dry paper. Okay, so let's just get maybe an outline in and see what it looks like. I'm scared now. I think the cobalt blue is quite dark, so I'm going to use the dark bit underneath his chin. I feel like I just need to do like an outside edge really. Wow, look. I'm going to leave some white spaces that I can fill with some other colour. So it depends on your paper as to how it dries. This is, like I said, this is card because this is the biggest piece I've got at the moment. So it's not going to give the same results as it will on watercolour paper, which will be a million times better. Don't be a Sharon and use card. That is the answer. Okay, so let's move this up a bit so you can see. Okay. Wow, so that looks quite cool. Okay, so let's now put some, I think the same blue is around his eye. It's quite dark here. So I'm going to put a little bit more there. And a bit near where his eye is, I think. kind of comes down a bit like that. And the best picture, it's a bit darker here. And then he's got a little shape around his eye here, so make that a bit darker. And the back of his head is here, it's quite dark. Alright. And he's got some little feathers on his little things up here. They look like the can girls in Paris with the little feathers on the head. Okay, so that's like a base colour. What's my detail gone? I've lost it. Lost my detail. Okay, so right, so next colour, I'm thinking let's try a different blue this time. So I'm just gonna get my tea towel. I've got my little cloth. Let's get a cloth, this will do. I found my tea towel, I was sitting on it. Right, so let's get tea towel. Okay, so now let's try, let's do all the blues first, I think. So let's try the Parisian blue, which is this one. So this looks like quite a deep blue. Let's try that one and see what we're going to do with that. So move these over. Parisian, that's ultramarine. I think it's this one. Here it is. Parisian blue. Okay. So if you buy these, use them in the same way. Don't be tempted to take the lid off. It will be like dust and it will go everywhere. These will last you a long time by using a little bit at a time. Oh wow, look at that. That's a nice blue. Right, so let's go over the dark area. So I'm going to go back underneath here. It's quite dark around his chin. These need a bit of a shadow. There we are. I think he's got a little bit. Let's have a look. Yeah, we'll do a little bit down here as well. A bit down here because it's quite dark here. So this is wet and dry, and the paint goes where you want it to go because it's dry and it's going to stay there. So that's a good tip, that if you want to know where something is going to be, then do it that way, because if we do wet on wet, it's going to spread, the colour's going to spread out. So let's have a look at the greens now. So I think we had emerald green, I think we'll use next. So if you look, it's like a limited, oh look, that's yellow, but it's not yellow really. It's really green. Okay. Oh, look at that one. That's one drop of water. I don't know if you know this, but every time you put your brush in the water, that's one drop. Your brush has one drop of water, so that's 2 drops of water we've got now. Wow, I love that. So let's now do, I think we'll put these little bits in the back. Okay, these are like, they look like little scales. I don't think they're scales. And by the way, you'll be spending a lot more time on this than I will. I'm just doing this really quickly, as quick as I can. for the video, so it's not too long. But I just wanted to give you some, you know, show you some ideas and how to kind of get it on paper. So we're going to leave the sprinkling until last, because the sprinkling is where it's very unpredictable and you don't know where the Brusho is going to go. So with sprinkles, if you activate with water, they're going to turn into bursts of colour. But at the moment, we don't want them bursts of colour over our peacock yet, because we haven't finished painting him. So once you finish painting him, then we can add our bursts of colour. So I would recommend that you save that part until the end or near the end. Okay, so that's that bit. So now I think I want some yellow. I think I'll use the brighter yellow. So out of the two, we have yellow and lemon. The lemon looks really bright, so I'm thinking maybe the lemon. A little hint of lemon. So I get excited every time I see the colours. I'm like, well, it's one speck of green in there. Look, it's making that bit go green. So that's cool. Because I know you can mix these colours together, which is really cool. Because then you can get dimension into your paintings. That's cool, getting a background. Just getting your background colour in. I'm going to put a little bit more of that in because I didn't quite have enough. That's enough. And there we go. Okay. So we've got some yellow. So while I've got the yellow, I'm thinking, what other places are there yellow? Well, there's yellow in the actual eye of the peacock feathers. So I think I might just do some eyes. I think it's the outside bit. Let's have a little bit closer. So closer picture shows me that the outside yellow part here is, I think that might be a close-up at that one. The outside yellow part is what we need to paint, so I think I'm going to do some yellow outsides first. Or just with a brush, just so we can see where they are. There we go. So let's get a little more paint. I just can't believe how far these go. There's so much colour and they go such a long way. I know they're very expensive to buy as well. So sometimes things, especially art materials, are not cheap. It's not cheap to buy, and you have to go with what you can afford. And sometimes it's worth saving up that little bit of extra money just so that you've got them and you can use them. These are lovely. I've never tried these before, so it's like my first time trying them, but they're fabulous. I'm putting them on my Christmas list for definite. Okay, so now we want a brown colour. So there's quite a few browns in the peacock, so I think I'm going to use a light brown. I think grey, leaf green, emerald green. What we got here? Brown, light brown. I think a light brown would be good. That's it. Put them ones back. Right. Let's have a look. Ooh. It's like a party. Every time I see him, it's like a party. So I'm just going to put a light brown. Might use orange as well actually. Let's use orange as well and mix them and see what we get. Cambridge. Must be that one. Orange. Orange, orange, orange. Okay, so let's mix a bit of orange and a bit of brown together. Right, now we can do this part. So I'm just going to put the shapes in just for the purposes of this video. So I would be a bit more neat and I would make sure the sizes are correct. If you're going to use, you know, trace it, just make sure you've got everything where you want it to be. I've just hand drawn these and they should all be the same size-ish. I know you get smaller ones and bigger ones, but I just wanted to check all the colours out and see what they do and show you. I will do another video on the techniques you can use. So it's just like watercolours. You can still create the same, but I'm looking forward to doing the sprinkles and tipping them on. Okay, that's that. So we've got like a turquoise, which I think we've used a turquoise before. So let's put a little bit more turquoise. Oh, this one doesn't want to come out, so make sure I've got the hole properly. It's not very good sprinkles, but it will still work. Right, here we go. Oh look, there you go. So we can do this part of the feather, and it's like a round bit, kind of goes round like that. It's cool. Yeah, I quite like that. I think that's quite cool. Okay, so we can now use a darker blue again. This one, I'm going to make it a bit darker, so that's it. Now if you look, I might have really banged it, but there's like little tiny specks in there. Tiny, tiny, tiny ones. Look. Right, so we're going to have this kind of shape in the middle. There we go. So that's quite cool. I think I like that texture. I like the colours. I like the vibrancy of them. I think we'll do a wet on wet now and see what happens. So this has all been like wet and dry, just using like normal paints. Using it like normal paints, just like watercolours where you would do on dry paper. So it gives it a bit more pigmented colour. Oh, there's another one. Okay, so let's do, I'm going to do a wet section. I'm going to wet it first. So I think I'm going to need a thicker brush. I'm going to try and do this area here. I think I'm going to put some colour in and we'll see what happens. Right, so let's get a thicker brush. Can't use too much water because it's not watercolour paper, but I'll try. Right, let's just go around here like this. It's going to dry really quickly. So let's just put some, where's the brown gone? Here it is, light brown. So I'm just going to sprinkle that bit on and we'll see what happens. Ooh, so this is dry brush. So if you see, you can make it look like feathers. Like the feathers go, but this is drying really quickly because it's card. So because there's still paint on the brush, it's still letting me use it. So I'm just going to paint these in this direction first. We'll just see. Right. So now I'm going to wet this bit again. It's drying straight away. Right, that's quite too much probably, but let's have a look. Ooh, look. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm really excited by this. I think this is so good. So I'll try and wet this bit again. Wow, look at that. How fabulous is that? Look at the effect that's given on wet. So now I'm thinking, now it's done that on that, I think maybe we should do some on the head that looks like that in the blues, because I feel like the blues would give you all that texture. Let's wash my brush. So I think we definitely would want the turquoise blues. The bright blue. So I'm gonna test it out. Let's have a look. This is the exciting bit, right? Ready? I'll put a puddle. I know it's gonna disappear really quickly. Okay. Ready. So let's put, that's turquoise blue. Let's put Parisian. Oh wow, look at that. Oh my god. That's amazing. Look at that colour. That's fabulous. That is going to dry lovely. Let's get a little thin brush. Move it around a bit. Oh, look at that. That's really cool. So there's still some pigments in there. I don't want to blow it. I don't want to blow it because I don't want to waste them all. Wow, look at that. That is fabulous. How much colour that's given. It's amazing. It's made that really dark at the top there. So that's really good for like 3-dimensional. So I think let's try and put a little bit inside one of these. See what that does. It's not really coming out, but we'll see. Okay. Let's see what that does. Wow, look at them. You can see they look like little tadpoles, like little crystals. All them little crystals all full of colour. Wow, I've got to move that over here now because I don't want to waste it. Wow, that's fabulous. Oh, I'm so excited that we got something good to try. So I'm going to put some water and I'm going to try this bit down here. So I feel like my peacock needs a bit of texture. So let's try. A bit more water. Oh look, I see them coming through. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I might have to buy some more of these and just like hide them away and use them for special occasions. See, look, that is an accident. So that is where, if you're not careful, like I wasn't, I've got a blob. I don't know if I can take it off. I'm going to try. Not really, like, so because it's pigmented, it's not really, can't really lift it off. But some of these crystals haven't exploded yet, so look, I can still add water to them and activate them. So that's really cool. I really like that. I really like that. It's good to get some different textures. And on the paper, without it being flat, it looks really 3D, which is really nice. You're going to have some fun making some fabulous pictures. So I'm looking at this green thinking I want to define it a little bit more. So I'm going to use a green. What have we got here? Emerald green. I think it needs to be a darker green. I think I'm going to put a bit of brown with it. Oof, you like green? Oh, I love it. Right, so I'm going to put a little bit of brown with this. Make it look a little bit darker. That's a bit better, look. It's a darker green. So I'm going to just go over this bit here, I feel like. Needs a bit more definition because it's just really a background. That's it. It's a bit like doing mermaid scales. That's what it looks like. I'm going to do some in this direction as well. I feel like they need to be, these ones here are facing a different way, so I'm just going to add them and slowly turn them round to put them in the right direction, just to see what they're going to look like. Yeah, they've kind of facing a different way, which I didn't know. That's it. Look at this. I love this. You're gonna love this too. So this is a super fast. You would do all your scales properly and they would look a million times better than mine. But I just wanted to try it and see how it looks, which is fabulous. Right, I'm going to stop the video there, only because my battery's, I just got a message saying I've got a low battery, so I'm going to leave the video here for now, and I will continue. But that's a very good start, and it shows some good techniques. So when you first start using them, that's what you need to do, is to do your Brusho colour chart, and it will help you decide on the colours that you're going to use. Okay, see you soon. Bye.